Good morning folks, this is Naeem Aslam, Chief Market Analyst at AvaTrade, and welcome to our daily fundamental video analysis. In the equity markets, there are a number of factors which are really moving the price action. Why don't we begin with the biggest news which came out on Friday? And as per our expectations and what we said on Friday, Donald Trump kind of stayed away from putting strong sanctions on Chinese and Hong Kong officials. Remember, this is what we talked about, because the main factor which was under a huge threat because of these sanctions was the US-China trade deal. He doesn't want to jeopardize it. At the same time, he wanted to put this tough persona up front, but this the concept of that, he's the biggest and he is the strongest president that the US history has ever seen, and he is not afraid of China. And that's why he can always stand up. This is the persona that he wanted to put forward, and hence on Friday, he did go ahead with sanctions, but nothing really what the market was anticipating. And this was the reason that we've seen the prices of gold started to ease off. But now, as you can see in the chart, gold prices are back up today. In fact, they're above that critical level of 1700 that we talked about, and very close enough to its previous resistance of 1750. And we'll keep a close eye on that. But in the equity market space, what we've seen was that yes, there was a massive drop in the US futures, but when he started his press conference, the market started to recover. And as of today, as you can see in the chart, the US futures were trading lower, but then they started to rebound once again, and now it's a bit more of a consolidation, especially I'm speaking of especially for the Dow Jones index, as you can see in the chart. Now the question is that the riots and looting and all of that particular social unrest which is taking place over in the US, how that is really influencing the market, because a large number of states are under the influence of this social unrest. Of course, this brings two major questions. First is that how long this looting and riots will continue, and if the US government through its National Guard, if they ever be able to control this social unrest, although we have seen the episodes of such social unrest in the past as well. The second and the most important element is, because of the social unrest, the social distancing measure which the US scientists, the US government talked about a lot, and then made sure that public understand they weren't really respected over this period. So that leads me to believe, are we going to see, or it really begs this question, that are we going to see surge in coronavirus numbers? And if that happens, where does that lead us? Are we going to see another lockdown, or how the recovery path will look like? How will that recovery path look like for the US economy? And so these are the key questions which can really stop the rally. But for now, I think the equity markets are still in a strong position. They're continuing their momentum to the upside. In fact, Goldman Sachs, the largest investment bank over in the United States, has also retraced from its recent pessimism about the US equity market, and now they believe that the US equity market is likely to continue, which what we have talked about in our previous videos anyway, because we focus more on the levels and the price action with respect to those levels. And by looking at those levels with respect to the moving averages, the price action for the Dow Jones, for the S&P and for the Nasdaq are still the price action is still very solid for all these indices. That is all for today, but remember, you can always protect your upside and downside position by using AvaProtect. See you guys tomorrow.